Tomorrow the whistle blows, the world will stop, and for the next 39 days, football will take over everything. But before we talk about what is about to happen, let's talk about how we got here. Because the World Cup is not just a football tournament. It never was. It started in 1930 in Uruguay. 13 nations, no flights for many teams, players crossing oceans by boat, and a dream that a Frenchman named Jules Rimet dared to believe the world would show up for. They did. More than 68,000 people packed into Montevideo's Estadio Centenario, and football changed forever. 20 years later, in 1950, the sport delivered one of its first great shocks. The United States, yes, the United States, beat England, the country that gave the modern game its rules. The world laughed, then leaned in closer. Then came 1958. A 17-year-old Brazilian boy named Pelé walked onto the world stage and made everyone forget what they thought they knew about football. 3 World Cups. 3. The only man to ever do it. Fast forward to 1966, and England had its only ever triumph. Wembley, Geoff Hurst, a hat trick in the final, and a nation that is still talking about it almost 60 years later. Then the 1970s gave us Brazil in yellow. Arguably, the most beautiful football team ever assembled. Pelé's farewell, Jairzinho, Rivellino, football as pure art. The 1980s gave us Diego Maradona. One man, one tournament, and 2 goals in the same game that people are still arguing about today. The hand of God, the goal of the century. Mexico 1986 was Maradona's World Cup, and no one else's. The 1990s gave us Italia 90. Tears, penalties, Gaza crying, Shalachi's golden boot. Then France 1998. The host nation lifted the trophy. Zinedine Zidane headed in 2 before halftime in the final. A country united in a way it had not been in decades. Into the 2000s, and the tournament kept growing. South Korea shocked the world. Ronaldo R9 redeemed himself in Japan after the mystery and heartbreak of 1998. Germany began rebuilding quietly in the background, and Italy won in 2006 despite everything surrounding them. Then came 2010, South Africa, the vuvuzelas the world pretended to hate, but secretly remembers forever. And Spain finally won their first World Cup, with Xavi, Iniesta, and Villa delivering the golden generation moment football fans had waited years to see. 2014 in Brazil gave us the 7-1. Germany dismantled the host nation on home soil in a semi-final that still makes Brazilians look away. 2018 in Russia gave us a teenage Mbappé running riot. France lifted the trophy, and the world realized it was watching the next great one arrive. And then, 2022. Qatar. The tournament many doubted before it began, but one that delivered one of the most dramatic World Cups ever. Morocco took Africa to the last 4 for the first time in history. And then came the final. Argentina versus France. Mbappe's hat trick, Messi's masterpiece, extra time, penalties, chaos, heartbreak, euphoria. One of the greatest finals football has ever seen. And when Messi finally lifted that trophy, even his critics went quiet. Now compare that to where we were 40 years ago. 24 teams. No social media. Highlights the next morning in a newspaper, if you were lucky. 20 years ago, there were 32 teams, and the internet was only beginning to carry football stories beyond borders. Today, 48 nations, 16 cities, 3 countries, 104 matches. Every game live, every moment instant, every goal viral before the goalkeeper has even picked the ball out of the net. And tomorrow, it all begins again. Spain, among the favorites, powered by an 18-year-old Lamine Yamal, already being talked about as one of football's next great stars. France, with Mbappé chasing another star after the heartbreak of 2022. England, with Bellingham, Kane, and a nation that has waited nearly 60 years to hear those 3 words again. Brazil, with Vinicius Jr. carrying the hopes of 200 million people and the weight of a 24-year drought. Argentina, with Messi 38 and turning 39 during the tournament, still impossible to write off. And Cristiano Ronaldo, 41 years old, chasing history in what could be his 6th World Cup and potentially becoming the first player to score in 6. This World Cup will have everything the last one's gave us. Upsets that make your jaw drop. Moments that make grown adults cry in public. Goals you will show your children. And a story that will end on July 19th at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. One team, one trophy, one moment the world will never forget. The only question is, whose moment will it be? Tomorrow the whistle blows. Don't miss a second of it.